easier said than done. You have pretty mobile cores in the Riki alone. It's going to be hard to lock in. The silence is going to be annoying to fight into if Chuan invests in that smoke screen once he has the levels up. And for Fnatic, it's just easier to get the TA farm compared to a Spectre. It just takes so much more for a Spectre to match that farm on TA.
I trust the way the Fnatic are going to have a very dominant kind of 2-0 start to their group stages by game 1. I mean, not like that's how it's going to go, but two completely different drafts now. We'll see if Motivate can kind of make this one work against Fnatic. Away from the Viper if you do get caught in a bad position as well. Like, you've got the blink strikes, you got the tricks to the trade. There's plenty of ways of resetting here for Chuan in this mid lane. Raven on the TA, gonna enjoy his matchup. Unless they go for a swap with the Viper Mars. But I don't think they're going to do that, because Fearless has already gone onto the Viper now. So I think Masaros is just going to have to try and deal with this. Oh no, never mind, Masaros. He is queuing himself up in the mid lane. So maybe they will go for the lane swap up.
Yeah, it looks like they were expecting it. So we'll get treated to Masaros mid. And the Viper offlane from Fearless. It's a good read coming out from Motivate Trust. We'll see if they fully commit, but it looks like they will. They've got the information out with the war. They spot out Chuan on the Riki mid. They should be able to know. That blood red, really, it bugs the hell out of me. Someone, it looks like a Fong material. That's not right.
It's not blood red, John. It's just literally blood. You know, that's the whole idea, John. Blood is indeed red. You see? I suppose that's what Valve was trying to go for. Well, there you go. Chrome's there, John. Now your eyes can relax a little bit. In fact, now there's no river. Enjoy, John. You get nothing. Good day.
Yeah, I like that. Look at. You ever think about the guy that did the river textures like this? The river materials, the little rocks there, and you never see it. There's still fishes in this river with no water. How does that work?
Where? Are they?
Yeah, they're sailing around here.
I don't see them, John. I think you're drunk again, John. Stop drinking before we cast, thank you. Bottom lane, we have Death and Jabs there on the Earth Spirit Enchantress. Going to be against Jackie and, of course, Set Zero. This laning phase, it does seem rather difficult, doesn't it? Like, Set Zero, he might be able to kind of establish dominance in the lane on that Elder Titan, but you are still against an Enchantress. He does have the enchant up, so you are going to be able to remove the bonus damage away from Set Zero every single time he does get that Astral Spirit out.
Yeah, it takes away a lot of presence for Set Zero. Death's just going to be able to juggle that around, of course. Enchant's cooldown is a lot longer, and by about 5 seconds. So if Set Zero just juggles the duration fine, could have decent uptime regardless. Once levels start pumping out here, though, once you have Impetus up on Death, you feel a lot safer. Like, look at Set Zero. He runs up to get harassment. He's already down to quarter HP. 1 tango left. So the moment he goes in for another trade, he's just gone.
I mean, they're really trying to slow down Jackie here as best they can as Set Zero now enchant is out, and they'll get the first blood. Death just really sets it up really quite well, and Set Zero, it's a tough lane for an Elder Titan. There's really nothing he can do unless enchant is on cooldown. And once Death hits level 3, he's practically going to have it every time the Astral Spirit's on.
Radiant's top tower is under
We'll have a look at the other lanes, though. Mid lane, Chuan is there against Masaros. So they do get the matchup right here for Motivate. The thing is, Riki still does very well against Mars. Like, Riki kind of beats out both of the Viper and the Mars. So Fnatic, you don't really mind too much. It's more about having Fearless going against the TA to try and win that matchup. But Chuan's going to have a great time regardless, I think.
Yeah, he's lagging slightly behind in CS. I don't think it's by a big enough margin to really care for. Masaros can just maintain wave clear quite nicely with Rebuke, although...
Speaking of, Fearless does end up killing off Raven. So there you go. The lane swap's working here for Motivate so far. Raven goes down to the TA. You've got to be careful not to get caught by the bushwhack. But it looks like it wasn't even that. It looks like Fearless just hit him enough with the poison attack to get through the refraction and the raw HP of that Templar Assassin.
Yeah, and you have to really play safe when you see DJ going for that pull to stabilize the lane. TA early on, you know, 1 level in Psyblades, 1 level in Refraction, not much durability in the hero, and there's not much you can do against that Viper. So lane swap for Motivate Trust, as you mentioned, works out fairly nicely. Fearless just keeping Raven down. which is great. You just worry about the jungle that eventually comes out for Raven. Like, they're still going to be able to get stacks. In fact, Raven's just playing with jungle stacks already, not even opting to show up in lane, and it's just it's a slower way of getting farm, but you're not going to die to the Viper, and that kind of takes away the Viper's impact if he doesn't bully out the TA.
Yeah. Very, very sad time for Raven already, apparently, in this TA. Not really... I mean, you can farm the jungle, which is the great part about the TA. It feels like nothing ever happened, but you don't want to do it this early. You want a few more levels up before you really get involved in that jungle, and Raven, he has no choice. He's going to put up with this for now. Mid lane, bit of a spear up from Masaros onto Chuan. Masaros just really focusing in on ensuring he gets the CS going well. However, bot lane, again, set 0 going to drop. And I believe it was pretty much the exact same thing happening. Just an enchant, a rollout, a boulder smash, a few impetus shots. And it's going to prove to be more than enough to take him down.
Again, it's really tough for Jackie to just focus in on farming. He is still up there in CS though. So I think in that sense, Set Zero is doing his job, and Det has no mana now.
Yeah, roll in though. Jackie gonna try and pursue. However, Boulder Smash is there. Death, he does not have the mana for that impetus. If he did, it would be a kill, but no, Jackie! He turns around. He may have just assumed he was already dead. And jabs, he'll take the kill.
Yeah, I believe he was already under the urn of jabs. So I think he figured if he just walked away, he'd still be dead. Might as well try to get some damage, force him to use some regen, force him to use an urn charge. Doesn't really get too much off. And your Spectre, it's still stuck in this very awkward position where you're finding CS, you're giving a lot out to this offlane Enchantress, and the early aggression for Fnatic is really lining up. 1-3 roll again.
Set 0, he just can't catch a break. It doesn't matter if it missed John. They're still going to get the kill, I think. Set 0, he tried to go for the stomp, but jabs. He gets a value point of the silence. Q's going to rotate now instead. They're at least going to be able to get jabs. And I think Set 0, he might just have to go top now. There's just no point being here.
Yeah, it's a pretty dead lane beside of Motivate Trust. Just try to kind of secure Jackie some farm, maybe just start to build up the triangle stacks. They've got a couple in the large camp, not much yet. I mean, I say that, it's not like Spectre clears them out fast even with a blade mail. And Jackie?
Yeah, Jackie's in trouble. Q's there, roll is going to connect. He needs some help right here, right now. The bushwhack is going to be enough, but they could just keep going with the silence in from jabs. Oh, complete domination from the offlane of Fnatic. And Set 0, he might get a bit of revenge here. Jabs, he just stands there and takes it. He doesn't mind. He got what he wanted.
It's going to be a long time for Jackie to really hit these spikes. He is almost at blade mail. I think he just dragged him away from that lane now.
Nice rotation out from Chuan. I mean, we've been talking about the bot lane so much, we forgot about the mid and top lane. But Chuan makes a great rotation up, secures the kill onto Fearless, who was known to be alone, as both supports are still hanging around bot. And Motivate now, they're going to try and run a tri-lane with their Spectre. And this is how desperate times have gotten here for Motivate. It's just not going to feel great because you're going to lose that mid and that top lane. Hell, even Masaros is rotating. They're going to quad lane the bot lane for a bit. They just want Death dead. And Death, he has no heal. He should die here. They drop the arena. They get the spear off and they will secure the kill. DJ, he's going to rotate down to the line. And now Chuan, they might actually get a return. And they do. Set 0. He's going to die. The gold will be split. But you're still happy with that. You force 4 heroes down bot for an Enchantress, and you still get a support kill.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And it's just piling on for Fnatic. They could look to maybe shove in the bot lane a bit with a siege creep. They are having Death TP back down, so they can just line up for the tower push, knowing that Motivate Trust already blew their spells out for that fight. Jackie does have the blade mail up, so I guess this is the time you can say farm piles up. It never feels like it though. And look at Jabs. He's just keeping track of that Spectre. They do get the scan to protect Jackie, but he has to play really safe. Like, Fnatic understands this blade mail timing, and they're going to look to punish it.
Yeah, Chuan, he's just so dominant right now. And poor old Sub, I mean, Sub-Zero can't, rather Set 0, he can't catch a break. Chuan, he'll be fine. Apologies, by the way. Apparently, I've got Mortal Kombat on my mind, John. Calling Set 0 Sub-Zero.
Yeah. If only we'd have an actual hero like Sub-Zero here. I think that would push the age rating a bit too high, though. Still, it's down to the fact that...
Yeah, Fearless, he makes a nice rotation down to the bot lane. And I suppose if the Viper can't deal with Raven's TA, you may as well come down bot and at least deal with Death's Enchantress.
Yeah, that's one way to balance it out. They are still invading that jungle really
Jesus,
easily.
they won't leave Jackie alone, John. Jackie, I mean, they're going to try with the arena. They can just blink strike right back in after it's off cooldown. Jackie does get away for now. He hangs around. The Urn charge 6 HP. He will barely survive as DJ might just die and does. A nice sharpshooter in from Q to have the damage output. They are really making sure Jackie does not have a good game.
I mean, that's all you really need to do. Like, if the Spectre just never finds farm, it's never going to catch up. Your TA is still having a great recovery in the jungle. I mean, all the cores of Motivate Trust are ahead right now. But the fact that your Spectre is kind of choked out like this is a cause of concern. Still, mid-tier 1 will fall. That's good news for Motivate Trust, and they immediately smoke up. They just want to start playing aggressive. If they get that jump on the TA in the jungle, that could set up for a wider lead here for Motivate Trust.
Certainly. And Masaros in trouble. Roll is right on target. Jabs, a great silence into the boulder smash. And, well, Masaros, he has teammates coming in. Stomp will be there. Chuan, he does get caught in it, but Jabs is still on the chase, but he has no more spells left. In fact, now Motivate, they're going to turn around onto the Lion DJ. He's going to drop. Fnatic, do they want to keep trying? They will. Chuan shows himself with a blink strike. Enchant is there from Death. Set Zero, though, moving in for a stomp. Might be able to connect, but no, the silence is out from Jabs. Fearless, he's going to drop another Astral Spirit out. Jackie's even haunted in. He wants to try for the fight as the sharpshooter. It does land onto Chuan. The spear is there as well, and Set Zero. He gets some revenge now as Death. He is trapped in the arena. It is a bit of a Matrix moment here in this arena, as nobody can hit her. So Death is going to be able to actually get the kill into Set Zero, but the dagger comes in. They need a bit more damage, and they will get it. Masaros has the spear, but the Earth Spike is there from DJ. The finger's out, DJ. He'll end the life of Masaros. Complete chaos in the mid lane, but I think Motivate Trust do come out on top.
He managed to get some good control out. He managed to get the mid-tier 1 and clean up. And Fnatic, the response a bit scattered. They do at least ensure that they don't lose any big core, like say the TA or Ricky. So Raven and Chuan just go back to farming, slowly building up. They're still keeping track of Jackie, but Motivate Trust are much more disciplined now. They're constantly playing around the Spectre, where he's farming. If he's forward in the lane, they have to back him up. They're going to go for that top tier 1 now. Just slowly shove it in, and they should be able to find it. Fnatic can take this opportunity to fight, but without Finger, they don't quite forward it. We taught Masaros some Filipino. Who? Why? Masaros will know.
Do I want to know what that means, John?
Oh, we've gone over Gago a couple of times already. It's fine. It's
Have
just
we,
like,
John?
you madman. You're crazy. Insane.
Okay. All right.
Or jerk.
I've been learning some new ones recently in the SCA server. I've got to tell you, John, but I'm pretty sure I can't repeat them on screen. Some
People won't know.
Oh, they'll know, John.
Who need to know won't know. It's fine.
John, if I knew, I guarantee you they'll know. Chuan, he's looking to move in. Set Zero has got a sentry ward down. They've got the smoke screen up, but a nice bushwhack Q. He holds them both in into the stomp. Jabs. He wanted to try and roll, but now the Earth Splitter. It's going to be plenty of damage up, but not quite enough apparently. Jabs, he's going to try and run. They should at least get the Earth Spirit, surely. In fact, he'll turn around now, gets the Magnetize, gets the Boulder Smash, but Set Zero, he's going to TP back to the fountain, and he'll survive through the damage output.
And the early aggression for Motivate Trust is actually lining up. And again, their cores are still up there in form. Raven is starting to overtake, although.
That's the target they want. Raven, he's still quite tanky here on this TA, even with all the damage up, but it looks like this poison attack might be enough, and it is. Fearless does get him, but he will lose his own life as now Death. He's going to try and move in onto Masaros. They've got the trap south, they've got the enchanted creep stomp, and they'll get another. So even though they lose that POS 1 TA, they will still get a lot of value out of Motivate Trust. They might even get a bottom tier 1 tower out of this.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
You
attack.
can get that push going with the Enchantress. Not the quickest push, but you do have a nice big beefy enchanted creep to kind of help you get that done. And that should provide more map control through for Fnatic. They still are down their mid-tier 1. It doesn't feel like Motivate Trust has been able to maximize that too much. They have kind of planted the deep ward in top jungle. They haven't killed the big cores. They only just got that kill on Raven. And I like how Raven's going about his build. He's actually rushing the BKB first. So he's not going Deso. I don't think he feels the need for a lot of damage. They can just kind of have him stand in front, get the meld strikes off, and go from there.
Yep, Fearless, roll, not going to connect, but they have the Earth Spike, they have the slows, and they have even more damage. It's not enough though, the Halt's in, they will get Fearless in the end, but DJ's going to drop. And Jackie, he does at least get himself something. In fact, they may even find death. Bushwhack does connect, the Sharpshooter's going to be there with the stop follow-up. And there's your spear out. That's a double kill out for Jackie. That's probably the last person you want to give these kills over to.
And he's just allowed to build up on the Spec. They've been really great with the counter spells. And Raven.
Uh-oh, he just respawned. Bushwhack's there, Stomp is out. Do they have the damage? The Earth Splitter, it's not enough, but now the Magnetize is out. Jab's gonna try and help turn this one around to set 0. Might just drop and does. The Magnetize will be enough. Let's refresh it up. But they're not gonna chase any further. They've seen enough. They gotta kill or save Raven. As you've seen Raven, he's starting to fall a little bit behind in terms of net worth. You don't really expect the TA to be kind of on par with the Spectre, but Jackie's now taking over in terms of the 1v1 matchup.
Is under attack.
And this is where that BKB build for Raven might hurt him in the long run. His farm output's not going to be amazing. It kind of slows down his jungle clear. So the spell immunity is going to be nice in fights, but that does mean Raven might have to join those fights earlier than you'd expect from a TA because of this BKB rush. We'll see how soon Raven does commit once the recipe is up. Aside of Motivate Trust, they're still doing a great job in kind of balancing this game out. And they've still got that mid-tier 1 tower advantage. Fnatic has not been able to go for that mid-tier 1 just yet, so the jungle control for Motivate Trust is still up there. They have stalled out for Jackie. He's got the Yasha up, an additional item to help him deal with everything flying through from Fnatic. He's probably going to go into the Manta for the self-dispel and the stats. And once that's up, it becomes harder to lock in the Spec. The damage output of Jackie is actually pretty nice when he gets the haunt off. And Motivate Trust has been much more aggressive with her 4 years, so let's see if they manage to catch more.
Yeah, Bushwhack's off the mark though. Jabs should be able to get out. Stomp is not committed yet. They're going to try and get the vision with the Astral Spirit, and now the Acorn shot will be enough as the Sharpshooter going to fly in as well. They'll find another kill. Jabs the one to drop. And Motivate, no voice lines being used, just all business here from this Radiant end. Definitely a much closer game than game 1 was.
Yeah, they're finally getting some aggression on the map. Even with Fearless sort of taking a back seat. He's got the travel, it's on the Viper. He can join in. He's working towards the Hurricane Pike. He's going to have that nice long range. He's going to have a nice way of shoving heroes around. Going out of the smoke screen, which is really the big one. That control from Fnatic with the silence, not going to feel as great when the Viper can just force staff anyone stuck in it out and just still keep using their spells. They are almost at the point where the BKBs are done on Fnatic though. Like Death also rushing a BKB is going to have that up soon. Raven, his BKB flying out, so he's going to have spell immunity. Again, we have to see if the TA will look for those early fights. With an early BKB, you kind of have to. Like, you don't want to just buy a BKB to help you farm safely. You have to use that in fights.
Jabs, Arena, Spear is there. They're going to lock down the Earth Spirit. Jabs, oh, the Sharpshooter. Going to come right in from Q and be another kill onto Jabs. And onto the T2 top tower they go. 1k net worth lead now. Motivate Trust looking very, very strong in this matchup. Fnatic, you start to ask yourself if they've missed their timing here, John. Like with this Ricky TA, it's just not looking like enough quite yet. They're going to smoke up though, Fnatic. They're moving up through to the top lane as 3, and they want to try and force a fight. Spirit is going to get the information though, but they're in onto Fearless with the damage with the smoke screen. Should be enough. They'll get him, but DJ's lost. Jackie's in. He wants to fight. A big Earth split around. They have locked him down, but no Jackie. He's gone too far. The damage is way too high right now, as Masteros is going to try for the TP play and will make it out. Jabs will drop, but they also found set 0.
Could keep a secret.
So a 2-for-3 trade. Q is going to be okay. They got a pretty big pick off onto the Spectre. Definitely great news now for Fnatic.
Yeah, you're still really happy with how that engage went here. On Fnatic's end, you only sacrifice your supports, you keep that Spectre down. You didn't have to pop the BKB on Raven, and he's still doing good damage despite going for the BKB rush. Like, the damage he does on the Spec is still massive despite having that protection of the Blade Mail up on Jackie. And now you have the BKB up on Det as well. So the Enchantress has spell immunity, the TA has spell immunity ready to go. I think Fnatic is going to line up for more aggression now.
But they've got the control.
It's just not an issue.
No, they don't. Death. He got the BKB off in time. He's going to turn back in onto Masteros. Arena down, but it's not going to be enough. They'll jump right into that arena. Bushwhack, though, is going to be decent, but again, not quite enough, as now Jabs tries to roll in after set 0, but isn't going to be able to lock anyone down.
Top tower is under attack.
And Motivate. Looks like they're just going to sit back and try to defend this tier 1 mid tower as Fearless. He does avoid the Earth Spike there from DJ. And Fnatic, they won't be able to keep going onto that tier 1 mid. They'll have to let it go for now.
Yeah, but you can see that they're much more willing to take these fights in Fnatic's end. Like, Chuan, he's had the defusal since the last fight. His damage output is great. The slow stacking they can get done is also pretty scary once you get that inhibit off with that defusal. And you finally see Fearless use some voice lines. Very nice voice lines there from Fearless. Starting to get that motivation out for Motivate Trust. Motivate Trust for their part. They could look to make a play. They are kind of clumped around mid. They do not have a smoke. They do pop it with Masteros outside. They're not going to have the arena surprise, but they could still catch some good heroes here.
And DJ, he's going to break the smoke. Bushwhack is off the mark. They'll spot DJ, but it's a bit too late. Looks like they won't have any way to lock him down. Q had already committed the Bushwhack, so there was no stun really to lock down that DJ Lion. And he's just going to make his way out. There's the rest of Fnatic now. Again, they're just trying to catch up in farm at the moment. They're trying to get a decent enough net worth lead to really start applying the pressure. And it's going to be all the way back to Raven on this TA. It's still yet to get the Deso up, still yet to get the Blink up. And I think those are going to be the timings that you're kind of waiting for Fnatic. The only problem is you are still giving plenty of time for Jackie to be able to get his own farm up. And he is working on towards that Ive Skadi now. So things could be a little bit concerning as Jackie does have more time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Spectre towards the late game. You always do get worried about how much the Spec can do. But I think the TA still has a decent shot at this. They're going into the Roshan. They spot it out with a trap in Fnatic's end. So they're aware that something's happening here. And Motivate Trust, they drop the sentry, so they're going to play it safe. They don't want to commit too deeply while Fnatic has that info out.
No. Smoke is there, though, Fnatic. Start moving in through that mid lane. Set 0, gonna get caught. Should be an easy blow up, and they even commit the finger. Let's get that charge up on DJ. And they might try for that Roshan play now. Without the Elder Titan around, it's gonna be quite hard to control. In fact, they want more. They'll go straight for a roll in. Arena's down by Masteros. They actually got DJ in that arena, and they'll burst him down. But Death is onto Masteros now on that Mars, and they will get another kill. As Fearless, he's going to try and fight against Death. He'll try to get the damage out with that Nether Toxin. They've got the break, but is it enough? It will be. Horn comes back in. Jackie, who do you go after? He's looking at Raven. Raven, not the easiest target. In fact, they'll turn now with Chuan around in the meld strike. They just melt the Spectre down. A 3-for-2 trade in the end. Chuan barely surviving on that Ricky. But they will not be able to go back for that Roshan. They'll have to let it go.
Yeah. For Fnatic's side, it can't quite dip in as well with his numbers advantage. They need to kind of reset. There is a double damage rune down bot that I'm sure Raven would love to pick up, or even Chuan would love to pick up as soon as someone gets some info off. Could be a nice rune to enable that next rush. But Q's on his way. So just snag it away. No, DJ wants it for himself, so there it is. Although, nah, misses the bushwhack. And DJ's been doing fantastic work on the line. 4 finger stacks at 22 minutes. Pretty much every single time it's ready, he still finds that kill. So you've built up quite a fair bit of damage here. Your talent, let's say the 70 HP per kill, it's going to be really nice now if you want to go for that. We have seen some players opt for the Earth Spike cooldown, just to have more uptime in these fights. Motivate Trust for their part, I think they might want to wait for at least one ultimate orb to be up in Jackie. Like, the stats are just way too important. Waiting for the full Scotty would take some time though. And you are still seeing him melt to the TA. Like, even, well, with the Deso up now, it's very easy to get done. But they don't have the solution yet. Like, you still need more on Jackie, and it's just down to the matchup. TA with almost equal farm feels a lot better as a hero compared to the Spectre.
Blink up as well now on Raven. Just on the courier, but he wants to get started on that Roshan. Acorn Shot's going to be there, so Raven, he's going to reveal himself with this tree being around. Now Motivate, we'll see how they try to fight this, but the Earth Spike is there. They caught Masros with, they're going to try and burst him down immediately. Masros, he's in big trouble. He's been left alone. He'll drop the arena, but it's to no avail. He can't do much about it. Meanwhile, Fearless will get started onto death. They'll try to at least get the Enchantress kill. Sharpshooter's going to be taken by Chuan. He'll go back on the Viper. Meanwhile, Death, he is still alive. They'll finally kill him. In fact, they'll even find DJ, but now Chuan is going to jump in onto Jackie. There's a roll in. They've got the Spectre. They want more. Raven onto Q, the side blades bouncing around. Roll in DJ, or rather Jabs off the mark. Chuan gonna get in with the smoke screen now. Back in at set 0. They'll find another. And Q, he's the only survivor left on the hoodwink. He'll try to back the bushwhack. It is on target. He'll turn around for an Acorn Shot. He's gonna get it, but Jabs is barely gonna survive on 10 HP. They will not kill him off. Ow. And that was a full team wipe, John. Masros, he TP'd back into the mid lane, but I don't think he wants to jump Chuan. Chuan looks to probably survive anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing at such a huge level deficit for Masros right now. He's level 15. The opposite mid Ricky's level 18. And he's got a lot more stats. He's got great cooldowns to play with. Masros, not quite. And he's lagging a bit behind in farm as well, sitting at the bottom for his team, still above death on the Ench. But the beauty of that comparison is that the Enchantress doesn't really need farm. Like, you have the BKB, you're going into the Hurricane Pike next, your skills still do a lot of work. You are still very hard to kill. They go into the Roshan again, the traps do scout it out, so Fnatic are once more aware.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll in, Fearless. Gonna avoid that roll. Roshan's still going down. Death, he'll get the team fight started. Meanwhile, on the side, set 0. He does end up dying. Fearless, he does go down as well. They've already found 2 targets. Set 0, he's brought back. You want that Elder Titan in this Roshan fight. Masros, he can't really afford to die right now, but he's been caught out again. Earthspike was there. He'll try to turn with the arena now. Jackie, he's going to try and force the fight. The Hawk's out. DJ's down, but so is Masros. They at least get Chuan though on the Ricky, and now Raven. He needs to run. He's too low on HP. He can't afford to turn around and fight back as Jackie. He's hitting too hard now. The refraction's there, but the bushwhack, it does lock down Raven and Jabs. He'll drop as well. And suddenly Motivate Trust. Even without Masros, they are going to go back into the Roshan pit. And it's going to be a slower process, but it looks like it's theirs to take.
Yeah, that was a much more impactful haunt from Jackie. Off the back of a pretty decent defensive arena coming out from Masros before he dropped. He just managed to rip through the line. Once that key piece of control was gone, they managed to chain stun, get the damage off onto Raven with a split from the Elder Titan. And they just copped too much damage in a short time span. The Fnatic could not sustain through that burst, and they lose out in the Roche. Motivate Trust does pick that up. 1 part away for the full Scotty on Jackie. He's going to have a ton more stats in the next fight when it does break out. Fnatic, they still hold on to a net worth lead. They do have the Crystallis up on Raven. I think you might actually want to finish up the Daedalus now, just to have the burst damage output yourself. Like, in a sustained fight, if you don't manage to dodge these spells, Motivate Trust will still be able to clean up and you have to respect just how well their damage scales, especially with the Earth Splitter from the Elder Titan. And that's percent max HP. It's always going to be good. And if you don't have your BKBs up, if you don't manage to sidestep it, in the arena, really easy to land.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's devastating as well, that combination.
With DD, and you can just wait for the cooldown. Still a minute away from the haunt. So it's a bit of a longer wait here for Motivate.
Oh, they're gonna leave it.
No one scouts out. All right.
Now they will. Ward's down. 4 seconds. Can they make it in time? Fearless, he's trying to get there, Jackie, just in case he wasn't going to make it. He would have taken it himself. They had a second to spare. And so double damage is going to be there now for that next team fight. And that's going to make life even more challenging for Fnatic.
Yeah, they've got a lot to worry about. They need to, again, respect the spacing out from Motivate Trust. Once they clump together, once they clump you together, you're in for a dicey team fight. BKB use has to be a little bit more disciplined as well. I think Fnatic has been very willing to just pop the BKBs early, and that has kind of held back as these fights drag on. Because once the BKB fades, all the spells, all the damage coming out from Motivate Trust just lines up. I think Fnatic, if they want to play offensively, they need to smoke. DJ ideally blowing up one of the cores first, or the Elder Titan. The Elder Titan or Hoodwink, probably the best choices actually. You can kind of ignore the Viper. Once Monstrous drops Arena, he's kind of the one and done with his combination. So you need the ET gone. He's just doing way too much work on set 0. And we have seen Motivate Trust. We talked about it in the draft. They love running the Elder Titan. Even in their old iteration with Leonak, it's a staple of their lineup. It just enables their movement out, enables how they want to fight in these engagements.
Under attack.
You see Fnatic, they're basically just avoiding Motivate right now. They've got to figure out a way of getting rid of everyone else and maybe just dealing with Jackie as the last person in these team fights. Just right now, just with the amount of damage that dispersion outputs, you just can't go after Jackie first. It needs to be basically a 5v1 scenario, it feels like, until Jackie dies. They've got the Daedalus up now, though, so plenty more damage to come here from Raven. And that'll certainly help in bursting down Motivate, but Masaros, nice arena down, has caught 2. He'll go straight after death with the sharpshooter out. They want to try and burst him down, but no, with the BKB, he might get out of there. God's Rebuke, it's still not going to be enough. Meanwhile, on the backside, Bushwhack going to catch out 2. Death does eventually die to Jackie. Fnatic, can they keep this fight up? Double Earth Spike is there. Smokescreen is going to lock them down as well. Fingers onto Masaros, however, they just haven't got enough yet. Raven, he does get it done eventually. Meanwhile, Jackie, he's completely out of mana. But a nice stop. He's going to set up into the Earth Spitter, but Raven, he had dispersion there already, as Raven is going to keep the chase up onto Q. And it looks like Fnatic, they're going to find a way to make this team fight work, as they'll find 3 for 1. They only lose Death as Raven, he gets a triple kill.
It's just a really awkward position to fight in for Motivate Trust. I think they should have been more willing to have Jackie die with the Aegis. If he was the one focused down using his HP to get that dispersion damage off, he'd have a second life anyway. Then you could kind of play around the Aegis. Instead, Fnatic manages to make that work. They take the bot tier 2. They can take the outpost now if they want. Looks like they'll just clump up for the mid tier 1, which has been up for half an hour. Way past its expiration date now. Fnatic should be able to clear up, start to buy the map open, and Motivate Trust, they're going to lose a lot of map space to farm up in. They're still lagging behind. 8k lead for Fnatic. Lots more farm that needs to come out from Jackie before he can really match the pace here.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a concerning position now for Motivators. Fnatic, they increased their net worth lead to 8k. And I actually like what happened in that team fight. Jackie, he had his mana drained by DJ. And it felt like once Jackie had no mana left, he just couldn't do anything. Like, he would just get kited around without the Spectral Dagger up. And so DJ, he literally just drained him of all his mana, and Jackie just had to retreat. That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
He just couldn't get in range.
It's the one downside of the Spectre, right? You kind of depend on the dagger to lead you into these fights. Out of the dagger, you're pretty manageable as a hero, especially once the slows start to stack up. And DJ was just very disciplined with his positioning. After that, with the mana topped up, he immediately blinked onto the low ground, got good stuns, and just set up even more for Fnatic. So I think that's one target they have to go for. On Motivate Trust 10, they need to kill DJ off. Like, he does so much work on this line. His blinks have been very on point. The instant burst just immediately gives Fnatic the numbers advantage, and it just kind of falls flat for Motivate Trust afterwards when they're down a hero. They have to respect that line and somehow reach into the back. Issue is, their only real reach outside of the blink on Masaros is Haunt. And they don't really start these fights with Haunt. They start with Arena first. So if you don't catch a lion out, it's just a massive risk for Motivate Trust that they don't know where DJ is.
Well, Fnatic looking very confident now as they want to try and move in to that top lane of Motivate. Raven, he knows. He got the side blades on Q. They know he's in the trees, and DJ, he's going to jump in. They got Fearless instead. Q, he's going to be alright though, and so is Fearless DJ. He'll be the one to drop it in the backside. Arena is out. Who have they caught? It's going to be Jabs on the Earth Spirit. Meanwhile, Jackie, he'll go for a solo mission onto Raven against two heroes, but he does not mind. He wants that Raven kill, and he's almost going to get up at the TP away. Is going to be more than enough, and it seems as though that side blades was actually a curse on Fnatic, as it gave them the information and they dived in, but they got nothing out of it.
Fnatic was kind of split up there. Like, there was a forward chase, there was a back chase. It all fell apart. They can't afford to lose their supports. Again, DJ is such a big part of these engagements. Pretty much all their controls on the Earth Spirit in line. None of their cores really have any control of their own. And if Motivate Trust are able to run down that back line, it's easier for them to clean up. It's easier for Jackie to just focus on getting the damage off. There is a fortify to hold off from losing objectives, but we will find out when the Roche respawns in about 16-15 seconds. And that could be the next objective for both sides. There are no traps in the pit. Fnatic would be a bit blind this time around in the Roshan.
Masaros, nice spear. He's caught death and they just burst him. Sharpshooter, more than enough damage out from Q, and now they want a bit more. Akon shots there on the DJ. That's a great target to start, but he's got the Aeon Disc. However, they found an even bigger target. They have got Raven on that TA. Disarms out. Jabs, he's going to roll in to try and play the distraction. And fingers there from DJ. They blew up Q. Masaros, he will catch up the Lion. Meanwhile, towards the south, Raven, he killed off Fearless. Jackie, he's alone right now. He needs to get the hell out, but the Sleeping Dart is there from Chuan. They lock him down, but do they have the damage? The buyback was there from Fearless, who'll try to fight back. The Earth Splitter as well. Jabs, he's the one that's low. He'll drop. Fearless though, he'll die back immediately on the Viper. Now the man fight. Raven and Jackie, but Raven, he's getting decimated. He can't fight Jackie right now. They'll kill each other off. Chuan though, he will also die in the Ricky. Everybody just dies in the mid lane, but Motivate Trust, they came out on top.
Yeah, they did have to buy back on Fearless to get that done. And he did die back, and they also had to force the buyback on Q, but they managed to get that win. They don't manage to really get a network swing. They will open up a bit of a shove-in. Now, without the Spectre, without the Viper, this is a bit slower going, but there's no heroes to defend on Fnatic, and we really wouldn't want to buy back for this.
Masaros, off the mark with the spear, will BKB TP away. He's had enough. DJ, Bushwhack will keep him controlled up. He won't be able to chase it any further. They won't be able to get an objective out of this, but they do get a bit of chip damage onto that tier 3 tower. And they also have a Roshan up. If Motivate scouted out in time, they might be able to rush this. But I suppose without Jackie and Fearless, they're not going to try anyway. They'll just leave it be. That'll ensure Fnatic do have an attempt at that Roshan as well. But that'll be the next big target for both teams. And that's the second Roshan, which is known to be extremely valuable these days with that shards as well as the cheese. Now, wonder who does get first dibs on that Roche.
Feels like Motivate Trust has the setup for it. They even have the top outpost on their side. So Fnatic don't have a TP point. They're going to have to recapture that to get their numbers up. They do have that good vision around the cliff area of Roche, so they can spot the movement out if there's no smoke commitment from Motivate Trust. They could even drop the trap down on Raven if he does make his way there. So they're always going to have some form of information around a Roche pit on Fnatic's end. Motivate Trust, I think they feel pressure to take the Roshan. Like, they've got the Spectre. who is still farming well, but it is behind the TA by about 5k gold. And Fnatic, they're the ones to smoke up. It looks like they'll actually be able to sneak this Roach if they want to, but might look for a pick off first.
Yeah, they're being a bit hesitant here. They don't want to go too far. Just want to find a pick off first. There was a couple buybacks that last team fight.
Where are you going?
If you can get a dieback again, you're going to feel very confident moving into that Roshan pit. Instead, they might just have to start, and Raven will. Tron will be there. That is so much damage. And they're going to like 10 hit this Roshan. The Raven with the Daedalus just doing way too much, and Roshan's gone. Motivate Trust, they can't believe it. They turn around like, what? Roshan happened?
Yeah. They kind of protect them, give them more opportunities to go around. They did pass the shard onto, I believe, either Jabs or DJ, because both of them have their shards up. So you've got the Mana Drain with Spell Immunity, which is obnoxious on the line, and of course the multi-targeting as well. And Jabs with the additional Remnant Vision and Charge Count, just more impact on the Earth Spirit. And again, both these supports have done fantastic work. With these added utility on their spells, it's going to feel even easier, although...
Raven's got the Aegis. This is not an easy kill to go for Massaros, but he might try. They might want the backside first. They just get the backline supports down. Fnatic, DJ, Death. Just going to take over the triangle now. Looks like Motivate. They are going to avoid the team fight. Not going to go for anything quite yet. Jackie working towards the butterfly as well, which should be quite effective against Raven's TA. He doesn't have anything like an MKB up, and quite frankly may not have item slots for it either. Maybe once the Aegis does expire, you'll have an item slot for that MKB, but for now Raven, he's just going to start on that tier 3 top tower. Butterfly's up now, and Motivate, they draw a line out. They want to go for a big team fight with this. Aeon Disc even up on Q. Some big timings. Jackie's already down at the bot lane, just pushing it out. But he's got the Haunt up. He's ready whenever. He even got a Basher just to be able to cancel these TPs off. And as you saw that last team fight, it's very effective against Raven on the TA. Death now. Seems like that's the target they always like to start on. Smoke going to be broken. Massaros, though, he misses the spear. He didn't want to commit the arena. And that'll be enough. The smoke will not work out. They'll have to back.
Fnatic, they just keep playing in that triangle, keep getting their farm up. The waves are shoved in their favor mostly, except for mid, as that is where Fearless is cutting them off. But they should be able to line up for a bit of pressure on the high ground. As Raven just gets to work, his damage is strong. You can't allow it to just get these free hits off.
Yeah. And they'll get the tier 3 for free. No problem. No defense out from Motivate. But they threw a Nether Toxin, but that was about it. Instead, Jackie, he pushes out the bot lane, forces the rotation in from Raven, and that is going to buy some time now. They're going to play a very slow game now, it seems, Motivate. They've got to be very wary of getting the right pick off to get their team fight started. But Fnatic, they need to do the same thing. We've seen these team fights that they go either way no matter what happens, right? Like it can be anyone's team fight. So both teams, they've got to pick carefully.
It's down to whether or not Fnatic supports can get the lockdown before they die. If they do, the burst damage coming out from Fnatic is great. If they die before getting their spells off, it becomes awkward. Still, Fnatic with the smoke are looking to go forward.
Well, Jackie would be an amazing target to start. Instead, however, they have found the backside. They got set 0, but they got the big spear off on the DJ. That Lion not going to last very long, and now the chase is on. Who do they want? It looks like Death is going to be targeted on that Enchantress once again, but the smoke screen going to help out a bit, but they've got the Bushwhack. Buyback is there from DJ. They might want to commit for a fight, but Motivate looking to reset. Best position to roll in and catch anyone he wants. And no, Fnatic's the ones that are going to back out. So both teams kind of deciding they don't want to go for this fight anymore. And I suppose after the pause, you kind of lose that momentum on both sides, so you might want to race it, but now they'll go back in. DJ, he gets caught out again. He might die back, but no, the kick away from Jabs will save the day. He will run the hell out of there, and they can not kill the Lion. Instead, who do they go after? They'll try onto Raven. Tron, meanwhile, he's onto Masteros. He'll force out the Minotaur Horn, and now Jackie, he's trapped up in the smoke screen. He's going to try and fight by himself, but he's between a rock and a hard place. He needs some help right here, right now, and he's not getting it. Oh, Jackie's been left alone. Fnatic now, they'll go after more. They want Fearless. They'll dive the T3. Bushwhack off the mark. Death gets an enchant onto Q, and now the Nullifier. Gonna make sure he cannot get away. He will try, but it looks like he's stuck it back. No, never mind. Death, he gets caught by the Spirit of Masteros, but now Jabs is in. He does get Q at the very least, and Raven on the backside. He's almost got Fearless. In fact, he does get the Viper. He's got him down onto the Elder Titan. They kill Set Zero again. The buybacks are here though. Jackie, he'll commit. There's 3 down with that buyback though. It's a 2v5 scenario. This will be the last team fight. Masteros, he is going down very, very fast, and he's gone. Jackie, he has no way out apart from just running back to the fountain. As Masteros, he's gonna buy it back. But how do you fight this? 4v2, excuse me. Raven should be able to get another rack. Says he's sleeping dart out from Tron. Masteros is going to be targeted, but a lot of misses out. And now the disarm is there. Jabs will roll in. They do slow up Jackie, but he's a bit too tanky. So instead, they're going to be playing it safe. They'll go back to the tier 3 tower. They'll take down the bot racks. And that'll be the first racks of the game going down the way of Fnatic.
Yeah, they managed to get pretty big wins. Getting those diebacks are huge. Unfortunately, they can't quite rotate for mid, so Raven has to walk across the base, not being stopped. Has the MKB up as well, so that evasion on Jackie's not going to help his durability anymore. 2 sets of racks just going. Respawns from Motivate Trust are lining up. They still have that mid tier 2. So Mega's not going to come out for Fnatic, but they come out with a massive win. 21k lead. Motivate Trust still lagging behind. It's all in on Jackie. The scaling on Fearless is really starting to taper off. And Masteros as well. And he's got the Satanic for the self-dispel, which is nice. We need to see those big arenas keep landing. They need to isolate out the line, isolate out that Earth Spirit. And that's going to be key for Motivate to find those wins in these fights. It's not about locking in Raven. It's stopping the control from Fnatic. That's what enables damage throughput from Fnatic. And for the most part, it's been fantastic work from the support here. Like DJ and Jabs have just been so on point with the rolls, with the Earth Spikes, with the Hexes. They've just managed to really get all the control off for their team off the back of some really great initiation.
Yeah, I mean, that kick in that last team fight, it was huge onto DJ. Like, he kicks him out and he gets the Force Staff off, and suddenly you don't get the dieback. I think DJ was actually 1 hit away that last team fight from dying. Would have been massive.
Yeah. They just don't find any wins. And that dieback would have enabled Motivate Trust to fight safer. Like, they know they wouldn't have to worry about the line for more than a minute. Just a massive opening for them. Now you see Motivate just kind of stuck around the lower part of that lane. Fnatic taking the high ground in the triangle. We've seen this situation go against you when you're on the low ground, so Motivate Trust has to be a lot more cautious. They can't really afford to force a fight, because they forced out so many buybacks on their side. They have to just be patient. They might have to surrender to tier 2. I think they need to focus high ground here.
That they do. Motivate. Just gonna stay around. Smoked up. Gonna keep tabs on what Fnatic are up to. Look at this range on those damn Psyblades. They upset me every time how far that range is. Fearless lost half his HP, by the way. That was a crit on the Psyblades as well.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I'd love it.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
The balanced spell.
Perfectly balanced. So that mid tier 2 now gone. Opens up that high ground.
It could go mega creeps now on Fnatic's end. I mean, there's no rush. When you have a 23k lead, you know how far ahead you are. You don't want to be reckless. You don't want to give kills away to Jackie that you can help. There is a smoke out from Motivate, though, going the long way up the lane.
Yep, they're gonna break the smoke there onto DJ. He immediately just blinks out as Set Zero does reveal himself. They'll keep going with Masaros and Fearless though.
Dire are scanning.
What is Jams? Jams on the cliff. He's gonna get a lot of vision though, and he finds Masaros with the roll. Do they have the follow-up? Minotaur Horn is there. BKB though from Jams. He's gonna be alright. Sleeping Dart, Meld Strike, Masaros. He's gonna be okay for now. Fnatic being very cautious not to overextend. Keep in mind they do have the MKB now up on Raven. So that butterfly on Jackie's not doing so much as it used to. It does seem like Motivate. They're going to reset in the fountain. However, Fearless is in danger. I don't believe he has buyback. He'll survive for now, though, as Chuan does get caught out. There's your sharpshooter onto death with the Aeon Disc. And Masaros, he doesn't have the arena. He's looking for a spear. They're not going to find anyone. Fnatic. They get away. Nobody's caught yet. Maybe DJ. Smoke screen's there. DJ throws out an Earth Spike with the spear. Does catch him still, Jackie. He gets sniped by Stop. DJ, Aeon Disc is going to proc. He's still just taunting his way out. He moonwalks it, or rather running man's his way out. And they just can't stop him.
You gotta love that. Aeon Disc saving lives once more. And they can just refill as well. He does have the mana drain restoring allies. They can just top up their mana off the fountain that is Lion. And Roach number 3 is up. Free Ags. Blessing coming out here for Fnatic along with that Aegis Cheese. And that's the Ags for Jabs. Love to see it. That's stone form.
They gave it to Jabs. I love it.
Massive. I love it. Just stone up and dive deep. See?
This is why I like Fnatic, John. You know, because they actually give the Ags to the supports. You know, unlike other teams who'll just give it to the pos one immediately. Masaros, he's in trouble right now. That's a lot of damage being pumped out, and Masaros is gone. Fearless, he's going to try and force a team fight, but look at the damage output. He needs to get the hell out. Meanwhile, Jackie, he's just being kicked around. Jabs, just continuously kiting out the Spectre. Tier 3 tower, not gonna last. There's no crypt splitting either. That'll be Megas for the side of Fnatic. Motivate. They'll have to have a Mega Creep comeback if they want this game 2 victory.
Yeah, they're playing 4v5 for this defense, though. No arena. Team fight's really hard to pull off here for Midway Trust.
Yeah, they've even got an Ethereal Blade now on Chuan as well, so you've got that added disable coming out from the Riki, just to be that much more of a nuisance as Raven. He'll go onto that T4 tower. Being cautious. Still dropping low. Nice dodge on the Bushwhack. Now the Hex out. DJ, he's caught out Fearless. That'll be a Viper gone. He does have buyback this time around. And he is going to commit it. But everybody from Fnatic just allows Raven to do what Raven does best. And that is take T4 towers. Onto the Ancient they go. Nice sharpshooter onto DJ to prompt the Aeon Disc, but now Fearless the Nullifier. He can't force stuff out. It's a dive back. You've got to commit to the fight now. Jackie's getting tipped. Jackie, where is Jackie? Jackie's coming in now. He's going to go for the fight onto Raven. Raven, he's just going to try and run away. He's almost down, but it's just going to be an Aegis anyway. The Nullifier is there. Jackie, he's so close to dying. He's completely surrounded. They just lock him up and take him down. The Ghost Scepter, it may have saved him, but it just calls the GG. He's had enough. And Fnatic, they take a 2-0 victory, and what a series it was between these two.